Welcome back, Redemption Builders. Today's workshop is on balance. As a leader, you'll see the need for balance in your everyday life, but in your leadership roles as well. Whether it's a job, whether it's leadership in a church, leadership in a civic organization, you're going to see the need for balance. The way that we hope that you can achieve balance or attain balance is through meekness, poise, and critical thinking. So we're going to break those down a little bit more. Meekness, number one. So how is balance achieved through meekness? Meekness is controlled power. If a leader is powerful just from position or from money or from stature, and they use it in the wrong way, that's going to make them have imbalance in their life, in their career. But if they do it in a controlled manner, they're going to be balanced, which all goes back to understanding who you are, understanding how you should operate, and that the position really is it's a gift. We're managers here on earth. Everything that we have here is something that we're supposed to be able to manage. It's not our own. So those ego, power hungry people, those are people that could use a good dosage of meekness. Next, poise. So how do you approach situations? Stressful situations or even situations that you've dealt with before. How do you deal with those things? Do you get very excited? Are you nonchalant about them? Or do you have poise? Do you approach them all very similar, in a very similar manner? Where you're poised, you're like a duck where the water just rolls off your back. You don't get too high, you don't get too low. And I do understand that gets frustrating to other people. But poise is so important because it's you managing your stress by the way that you maintain your well-being or maintain your thought process and your orientation. Being poised is nothing wrong with it. And then lastly, critical thinking. Critical thinking, you're going to hear a lot of this reflected in every one of my talks, and especially when we start getting to the influential leader. Critical thinking is so important. If you are a good critical thinker, you are a good problem solver. You are a person that deals with stress well. You are a person that can get into a tight situation and find solutions and find ways to get out. You are a solution-focused person. A critical thinker is a person that really you want on every team because they don't just see obstacles. They don't just see barriers. They see solutions and they see ways of overcoming those obstacles. So critical thinking is a very important skill. But the way that relates to balance is that a person that has to balance all these different things over here, like life, money, family, church, civic duties, all the different things that you are balancing, kids. If you have critical thinking skills, it's your ability to think outside the box and to go to a different place and find solutions to the sometimes daunting tasks that you have. If you can critically think, you can sit back, you can take a retreat, and you can figure out some of these challenging things that you have to deal with in life, whether they are money, whether they are family, whether they are career moves, even just communication with your significant other, communication with your kids, communication with your superiors. A person that can critically think, they can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So that's a skill that everybody should have if you want to have a good dosage of balance and if you want to be a good redemption builder as a leader. So that's our lesson for today. Guys, we hope that you can remain balanced. It's such an important skill to have. Don't leave home without it. We're still talking about the private leader. Eventually, we're going to get into the public leader and then the influential leader. So we'll close with our redemption builder mantra. I respect myself. I respect others. I influence every environment that I am in. Thank you. See you next week.